Hello everybody, this is ManuS and welcome to the second Eternal Sealed League. So I decided to keep recording the deck building and updates each week, but not record any games since apparently there's not a lot of interest in the games. There has not even been that much interest in like the updates each week, even less so in the games. So sorry for the few people that actually cared about all that, so I will just share my deck and my update each week and let you know how I'm doing, but not record any games since the interest just seems to be too low in those. But yeah, people especially seem to be interested in the initial deck building of Sealed due to the lack of Sealed and Sealed experience in Eternal, unless people like coming from Magic and have Sealed experience from there. So let's check out our pool for this week. Okay, so let's buy into the league. There we go. Let's open our first packs. Second sealed league, second the melee. Not gonna complain. The card is possibly not quite as good as some people might think, but it's still really good. But it's not like as good as some other cards, since there's a lot of ways to just shut it down if it's silenced or killed. It doesn't end up doing that much, so it's a really strong card, but also a very answerable one. Okay, we got another legendary. Feast Caller. That is sweet, and that's more annoying to deal with in Sealed, I would argue. Mindless Isalio, not that interesting, especially given the two legendaries we just opened in different colors. Caltrops, not great, but maybe playable. Calderon Cradle, useless. Keep in mind, this is my very first pull for this Sealed, so not a reroll like last time. And we have an Evelina Ballet Searcher. Also not the greatest Sealed card. Unless you get a lot of dinosaurs, then she might actually turn out pretty nice. But it's pretty high variance. Like, good in your opening hand, but pretty bad afterwards. Umban Reaper, not bad, but much worse than the other two 3-cost 5-drops we have, so... Last pack. Divining Rod. Probably also not very great in Sealed. So, sort of a mixed bag here. Alright, let's continue. Check out our pool. So, chances that we are Justice are pretty high, because Justice is generally pretty good in this limited. And yeah, from like the cards we have here, might want this, definitely want this, this, probably this. That's probably actually decent in Sealed, given how slow it is, and protecting cards like Amelia and stuff. And not great options, but cards to consider. This is always great. Monuments are very good. But yeah, Primal is pretty light, so chance that we can actually play the Monument or the Feast Caller are not too high. Shadow is a bit better than last time, but still not great. Like, then again, we have Slay, so that might be worth it. So in Shadow we have like, in terms of removal, Extinguish and Slay. That's not bad at all. Like, weapon support. Alright, so let's continue. Let's check from the start. So Fire is really good in this format, and I feel like our Fire might not be an exception. I mean, we have Into the Furnace and Gundown, so that's nice, because that's like 2 removal, although 1 is not great. And Ruinecrawler Yeti is not a bad card by any means in sealed, I would argue. And then we have like a few okay cards. But I doubt we have enough gunslingers, for example, to make the gunslingers matter enough. We have like this one, Steady Marshal, and like only Gunriot, which is not even very good. So yeah, I don't think we want to be fire. Let's see what we have as options in time. A couple of pretty solid to good cards actually. I don't hate how our time looks. Dinosaurs are not going to happen. But we got a bunch of pretty nice cards. Let's see. So yeah, Primal is just not happening. Sad Feast Caller is sad. I think the Justice just provides too much base in the end. We'll wanna like consider the Shadow option. This might actually be okay as a 2-drop if you can sometimes trigger it, and I guess we can at least sometimes trigger it. Gunslinger synergies and some pretty underwhelming cards. Like I think we might just be like splashing Shadow actually. Or like the removal. And maybe the weapon. Primal we don't have a lot worth splashing. Let's check that again. Shadow options. Oh, got to take that one out. Yeah, Primal doesn't offer enough splash material. But yeah, I think Ombre Splash Shadow is looking better. Like we could also splash Fire, but the Fire just offers a bit less. Like Extinguish and Slay are 2 premium sealed removal. Better than what Fire offers. We don't have Fixing for either, which is a bit awkward. But I think the removal is worth it in this like slower format especially. Okay, let's take a look at the deck as a whole. This is gonna be bad, don't have support for that. Detain is something that I'm looking to cut potentially. Also not a fan of a lot of these weapons. Pose is so are these two. Valkyrie Bodyguard probably gonna leave as well, because we have like a few armor sources but not a lot. We have like Militant with very few weapons. Tower Shield if we play it. So yeah, this is not sure if this is good enough as like a blocker basically. Most of the time. I mean we have Scepter of Nobility, Shield. Might be worth it, like Sanguine Sword's pretty sure not worth splashing, especially without Fixing. But let's cut that as well. I guess yeah, Emerald Waystone is also a source of armor. So yeah, I think in the end this is good enough, because it's still like solid as a blocker if you can't attack. Especially in like sealed where it's slower format. Divining Rod. Probably gonna get cut at the end. How many Valkyries do we have for this? Like 1, 2, 3. That's another reason to run this. 4, which is also something that wants the bodyguard, so yeah, the bodyguard is definitely in. I'm gonna try to cut this as well. I think we have more than enough for us to not need nonsense like this. And yeah, not the biggest fan of this, but especially in sealed this might be okay as like an additional pseudo removal. How many sentinels do we have? This guy. 1. Yeah, don't think that's good enough. Like 9 is just a bit too much. If it was 8 I would probably just run it anyway. But at 9 without any like acceleration or power fixing outside of privilege, I am not happy about this. And I might in the end just end up running Tower Shield for Divining Rod. How many flyers do we have, for example? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because that's like our most likely hit. Yeah. Flyers are like our main option for Divining Rod. Because like 6 power plus 3 is not a lot. Also not the biggest fan of Short Barrel already. This is not great, but I think it's probably good enough in the end. It's a source of armor, and it's just like a 3-5 with the Militant. But yeah, I think I'll looking to cut these. Probably also this. Let's see, how many cards do we have? We want like what? 3 shadow probably for the 2 removal. Yeah. 3 sounds about right. Then like 17 power plus privilege might be good enough, given that our curve's not that high. Then again, maybe just 18, because sealed we have like etchings and stuff. Being screwed is not something that I wanna be. Seems like we have to add back in some of the cards we potentially cut. I wanna keep the like 1-drops, like early drops to a minimum. They're just not very good. Yeah, like time basically is draws are like Sauropod, Automaton kind of. Lore is pretty solid in the sealed format as well, or even pretty good. And like Viper is pretty good, Creeper is nice. This is very solid in the slow format and even offers us like a pseudo answer. So all in all, and it has more flying defenses with Patrol and Excavator. I think it just offers a solid amount of things, basically. But yeah, the options here are very limited. Yes, we have to reconsider options like this, or rather just like Binding Shield. Maybe this guy. Maybe he is like just good enough and sealed. Okay, so let's check this. Like we might just end up with the Sentinel. Probably should cut the Tower Shield. Like it does stuff for like Scepter of Nobility and like Bodyguard, but I don't think it's enough in the end for how much it costs and how little it does. Might just cut the Short Bearer. I'm really not big fan of this in sealed in particular. This at least like just blocks up the ground, buys us time and stuff for our flyers. Maybe this is good enough on a flyer. The unit count's not ideal. But yeah, maybe let's just cut Short Bearer. We have a lot of 4-cost cards, like a lot. And maybe stick with the 18 power plus privilege now. There we have those two. And that I don't really want to put bad cards in the deck instead of power. I mean, there is a possibility that we should cut like 1, and we also have a splash, that we should cut like 1 power card or some other random spell, but probably not. So yeah, this is gonna be the deck. And it looks pretty solid, like definitely good enough that I wouldn't wanna reroll. It's a deck, like the deck that I rerolled last week for my second pool was just so bad that it wasn't even worth like trying to build a deck, because there were not enough reasonable cards to build a 2-faction deck with maybe a splash. It was just like a terrible pile all over that had like nothing good, even in terms of like commons and uncommons in any of the colors. Really, it was just really subpar. Well, this was a very solid pool. I mean, we're definitely playing a fair share of fillers and have some issues getting the deck full, but we also have some really stellar cards. Like, we have some good removal with the splash and some standout cards with Sauropod and Amelie, and a couple of premium commons and uncommons. So yeah, deck looks alright. Let's see how we can do this week. This month. Like last month, I basically could have been top 100 with my pool, but ended up in like top 300 or something because I played the wrong deck the first week. And I feel like this week I should not be making this mistake, because I think there's no other deck in this pool that is remotely close to this, at least for the first week. I can totally see you moving into like Huro or Argent Port with the next 2 packs, depending on what they give us. Or maybe just getting enough like Justice and Time cards to flesh this out more, get some more fixing for the splash, and cut some of the filler crap. Anyway, that's it for week 1 of the deck building. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think of the deck and of the build. If you have any questions or would have built something different and why, then we can discuss it. Okay, good luck to everyone in the first week, and yeah, see you for the second week with the updates, and thanks for watching.